What's going on, guys? Welcome to another episode of Jane B Tuning. Well, today we are going to work on the Civic 2011 Honda Civic here. We will be replacing the clutch kit for the air conditioning. Is no longer engaging, so there's something wrong definitely with either the magnet or the flywheel or whatever. So basically we're gonna try and replace the whole kit, and we'll go from there. Stay tuned. We'll be taking the whole fender liner, so it gives us a bit more room to dig through here because the actual clutch is right here. All right, guys, you pretty much got the fender liner here as much as we can. So dumb the way they have done this. As you can see, there's the mounting points for the mudguard, and if we try to remove this, basically it's going to be gone in the process. Like, you have to pry it out and it's going to be broken. So it's really dumb the way it's designed. So I'm not going to try and ruin that because I want to keep the OEM setup on this. So at the same time here, as you can see, you can't remove any of that tab, original tabs. They just break off pretty badly. So basically here, we will just try to replace them once we get them in. But I just folded it in half so that way just enough to have space here, guys, and then be able to work through here. Basically, there's the clutch. We will try to get the Serpentine belt first and then work off trying to get this clutch kit for the AC there anyhow. So anyways, I got my open wrench. I got an 18 underneath there, and I got my pry bar here, or my cheater bar. So basically just push it towards the engine bay for the tensioner, and then just basically remove the belt, loosen the belt from here, and we can leave that thing there basically. So now our belt is loose, so we should be able to work on our pulley down there now. All right, ladies and gentlemen, before we move forward here, just wanted to measure the current gap on our clutch to our magnet there, so that way we know exactly. So it looks like, let me see this is our third biggest. So yeah, so it's about, this is the perfect fit, which is 0.25. That's what we're going to be basing at, the spacing between our pulley and our clutch. So that way we know exactly how much shim we're going to use for the new kit. But anyways, we got our baseline now, which is 0.25 on our feeler gauge. So we're going to use that as a basis. All right, folks, time to remove our bolt. So I have a trick here that I always use in the process. What I do is I got an Allen key that fits nicely there, and I'll just basically jam it so that way it doesn't move when I try to undo the bolt. So what I'll do, I have a 14 here, 14 mil, and we'll then try to undo the bolt in the process here, guys. So let me just grab that thing back. Ouch. Okay, so here's a good trick. So basically jam this thing right there. So now it's jammed as nicely there. So basically we're gonna try attempt to undo the bolt here. There, simple enough. That's the best way to do it, guys. We got our bolt out or loose. Allen key hold it up pretty nicely there. All right, guys, once you break it loose, you make sure you remove, before you go flying and trying to remove that bolt, make sure you get your wrench out, because once you get it out too far, you'll never be able to remove this thing because it's going to be jammed in between the body of the car here. So there's not enough room to work with if once you undo this bolt too far. So before you get too far, just remove it out and then use your regular 14 to undo the whole bolt all the way, the open wrench. I'll show you guys how it looks like underneath there. Basically, I don't know if you guys can see it, but you'll see that there is that the snap ring inside there that we need to work on. Let me focus this baby in. It's not focusing properly. There you go. There's a snap ring. And we'll be using our tool here, our snap ring tool, to remove the ring. And there's two rings in there, one for the pulley and one for the actual magnet itself. All right, guys, we'll try to attempt to get the ring out now. Basically here, I want to hit it with the DW40 to loosen up that ring a little bit. There's a little bit of a lubrication there, so it does move around. Nothing excessive. And we got our plier here. It's kind of tucked in, so it's really hard to see, but let's get this going. Just make sure the camera is running. Okay. All right, guys, it's a little bit finicky here. The upper one, the one from the top, the ring on the top is not budging. The one on the bottom already budged out, and I'm gonna try and pry it out and show you guys when it's done. Word of caution, guys, as you can see now, it's just barely hanging on there, that clip. Really, you have to protect your eye. Make sure you got your eye protection when you're doing this, because that would fling and come off and hit you in the eye, which you don't want that to happen. So right now there is just barely hanging on, so I'm making sure that I'm gonna try to work it in so that way it doesn't just fling and fly to my eyes when I'm working on it. So anyways, just safety there, guys. All right, it's all off now. As you guys can see, there's the ring, finally. And the orientation of it is basically this way. As you can see, there's a bit of a kind of a thinner, almost like a sharp edge that would dig into the ring. And that's the backing of it, which is more like flat. So we'll hold on to this just in case the other kit that we have doesn't have a ring on it. All right, time to get that whole pulley out, including the magnet basically underneath there. So see, this one came out so easily, guys. I didn't even have to pry it hard enough. Surprisingly, it's easy to get the pulley out here. Usually, sometimes people have hard time trying to get this thing out. But me, for some reason, it just pulled straight up there. There you go. Oh, it's a little tight. I might have to, oh boy, I might have to loosen the entire system here to free this up, because I'm not able to, yeah, I can't get past that bolt there for sure. So anyways, I'm gonna try and loosen up the AC compressor to get us some room a little bit there. All right, guys, I'm underneath the car now. It looks like I gotta get the belly pan out to be able to get to our compressor right here, you guys can see. And there's a few bolts that I have to undo to be able to loosen this up a little bit to free up the pulley, because right now it's stuck right there. So I gotta get all this stuff out to get access to this even more through here. So anyways, we'll do that. Yeah, they truly make this cars so that way it's hard to work on, that's for sure. To Pretty much to discourage anybody that do this DIY wise. The pulley is stuck and I'm trying to get the bolt out. I was able to do the bottoms, but there are a few bolts in the top that is so hard to get at. As you guys can see, there's one right there, which really hard right there in the middle. Which really hard to get at, and then there's one on the top still, which is really hard to get at. So what I'm gonna do here, guys, is that there's a bit of wiggle room here when I pry. Just be careful when you do this. Pry the engine out a little bit, and it moves quite a bit when you move it this way, as I'm prying it, and I think I'll be able to free up that pulley out in the process. So I'll give that a try. Truly many ways to do many things, guys. As you can see here, fairly easy. Instead of getting that bolt out to loosen the AC compressor, again, just basically just a little nudge on the engine going that way and you can free up this whole thing. So easy enough, guys. I want to open up the clutch kit now that we just got from Amazon. We hope we got the right one again, because then really defeats the purpose of this whole project here. Oops. Oops, we dropped. Okay. All our snap rings and bolts, spacers, and then we got our clutch kit. As you can see, there's 3 pieces. We got our clutch plate, our pulley, and our magnet, or what's the other word for this? I know there's another thing that they, yeah. Anyways, as you power this thing, the magnet just turns on to actually retract or attract the retract the clutch plate to be able to engage the AC, that is. So if once the clutch plate gets stuck with the pulley, then it turns on the AC. That's how that works, really. So it looks like we got the right one here. It is very similar. I won't be surprised if that one there is actually already replaces at one time. So anyways, here we go. There's our magnet right there. So let's put it back in so we don't damage it. I'm going to show you guys to get the rest of the item here. As you can see, there is a possibly negative wires that we need to undo on the back of the car there, on the back of the compressor. So once we get that out, then we're pretty much free to go. And there's a snap ring that I believe is still holding on that unit there. So we'll try to get that snap ring out, and you should be able to free this whole thing up. All right, guys, let's show you inside in here. As you guys can see, hold on a second. I don't know if you guys can see it, but there is a snap ring in there. It's really hard to see to focus, but let me see if I can get it focused properly. Okay. Where's our snap ring? There you go. As you can see, guys, there's a snap ring in there that we will be undoing in the process. Just want to show you that. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I ran into a bit of an issue here. Well, I put it all back together because the fact that I wasn't able to remove that ring, the last ring. The best I could do is basically clean the plate itself using my grinder. Basically remove the rust out of it and put it back in. I actually took the shim out, and there's still plenty of space there. And I'm going to try and test it out here and show you guys if this thing is working just fine. So if this works, we'll call it a day. Okay, guys. Here we have our Honda Civic here now, guys. Just want to show you exactly our clutch plate all back in place now, as you guys can see over there. So yeah, just want to zoom in here a little bit. So anyways, we're gonna try and test it out here. Before, it doesn't engage basically when I turn on the AC. It does engage for about 5-10 minutes and into the drive, and then later on it just basically dies and stops engaging for some reason. So now that we have it all cleaned and basically sand down all the rust on it and see if it will stay engaged when you turn on the AC. Let me give it a try here. Alright, I have the camera set up now. I'm gonna start the car here. Hopefully this doesn't fall off here while I'm gonna start the car. But anyways, start the car and then put the AC on. So right now, basically, I didn't turn on the AC yet. Oops. As you guys can see, the clutch is still not engaging here. So I'm gonna try and turn on the AC and see if that clutch will engage on us. All right, I'm gonna turn on the AC here. There you go. As you guys can see, it's engaging just fine. We're gonna let it run for a little bit and see if it's gonna stop. It should continuously work from here, and it should keep the car cool, that is. So I guess it just stops once in a while and starts again. Well, we'll see if it will continually cool down the car. So I'm gonna go inside the car here to see if our vents are at least getting cooler. Yeah, we got cold air blowing here, which is nice. I wish I have a temperature gauge here so I can show you guys, but yeah, trust me, it is working right now. Before it does work, and I think I explained to you in my part 2 or part 1 of this video, that it does work for about 10 minutes, and then when you drive the car out, it stops basically after a while. But we're gonna try and test that out and see as well if that holds up for us, where it just remains cold as we drive. All right, guys, I left the car running here for the past 10 minutes, and as you can see, our clutch plate is engaging, so it's keeping pretty much the AC on there. And so that's a really good news for me, because as you can see, the flywheel is engaging, and the actual pulley is spinning. It's continually spinning, as you guys can see. And from time to time, to keep the car cool, the clutch keeps engaging there. So as I mentioned to you, I did take off the spacer that was there before, and I cleaned the surface of the clutch plate, and now it seems to be working just fine. So anyways, I'll keep you posted. Ladies and gentlemen, we're now into the following day. Get a chance to drive the car a little bit more, and it seemed to be working just fine. The AC is holding up pretty nicely, and I'm so thankful for that, because I wasn't able to install the new part, and that's basically the main idea, was to actually replace the plate, but the whole clutch, and I guess, you know, by just doing some cleaning on it, and it started working. So I guess I don't want to have to replace it. So it's working just fine, and I'm gonna show you guys exactly here. I just came back from our drive here, but yeah, no, it seems like it's working just fine now. I'm really grateful for that. And it is, as you can see, the AC is on right now, and you can probably hear that the AC is, the clutch is cranking right now just fine. So really grateful. I just came back for a drive again, like I said, and I guess we'll call this a win, and at the same time here, we'll close the chapter for this AC issue here. But anyways, guys, stay tuned this summer. Again, I'll be traveling to Japan pretty soon here. You probably will not see too much of a video from me in the next month because I'll be busy traveling here, traveling to Japan and also in Korea in the process. So there's going to be a lot of fun things there, guys. I don't want to spoil it too much, but anyhow, stay tuned for a lot of the videos, possibly some short forms and long form videos that I'll be posting when I'm in Japan for vacation. So stay tuned for that. And anyways, guys, if you haven't done so, please hit the subscribe button and ring that bell so that way you guys can never miss any of the videos going forward. Peace out.